Christina Concepcion here. It's day 4 now of the how did I get into this line of work. And so this one is one of the really crucial points as to how I've been able to create this sort of life. And the people that I've seen do similar things have done this step in particular, as well as a few other steps. But this is one of the ones that made one of the biggest differences. If you were to probably even just do this alone, which includes taking action, then you'll see that it makes the biggest amount of results. So what is this thing? What is the one thing that could make the biggest difference when it comes to everything that you could possibly do when it comes to moving in the direction that you want to move in? It comes down to support. It comes down to speaking to somebody who has been where you've been and is in the direction that you want to move in. For me, it was having my mentor in real estate. He was the top earner in real estate with regard to the 5 offices. He was the biggest owner. There were 4 owners at that time. And he was also one of the top salespeople. And to learn directly from him and for our ethics to also be aligned was a massive thing, because I didn't want to learn from somebody who had the results but didn't have the credibility and the alignment of who he was being as a person and who he was authentically, and the sort of ethics that he had as well. Hi, Jason. I know that Jason is somebody who has, worked with a mentor. He's been one of my clients before, and he is somebody who definitely understands that it's moving through your own blocks is one of the biggest things that can help you move forward. And we're often the one that's in our own way. We're often the one who we need to stop listening to what we're saying to ourselves, and we need to pay more attention as to how we're limiting ourselves and how we can get out of our own way. And that is something that, my mentor in real estate and one of my business mentors, Jeffrey Slater, has really supported me in being able to see. And as we have different areas of our life that we can shift and move through, it's about finding the person who has that experience in that area that it is that you're seeking, because you can find a business mentor, you can also find a spiritual mentor, you can find a guru, you can find a yoga teacher. And when you find that person who is focused in that area that you want to move in, you're going to be able to move into a direction that you want, which is your priority, and make the smallest amount of shifts and changes and be able to make the biggest impact on your life. It's one of those things where it's not just about the mentor, but it's all the people around it as well. I can see my boyfriend's online. Hi, guys. I was talking to Scott Lawrence before this phone call, and he's an amazing person doing really well with his business, making a difference, helping other experts get out there. And we were just talking about in this space of, being in the expert industry or being in personal development and being an entrepreneur, it can get quite lonely and it can feel as if you're doing it alone. Same as life. Like, even if you take the metaphor of life, if you don't have those family and friends around you that you can speak to, then it almost makes you wonder what's the point of it all. It almost makes you wonder, is it still worth doing everything and giving everything up for what? If you're not even going to be able to share it with somebody, because it's not necessarily just about sharing the good times, but it's about also sharing the difficult times with that person as well. And sometimes you just can't see what's going on with you. I love what Les Brown says, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. And Scott and I were talking about this as well, the amazing Scott Lawrence, and we were talking about how sometimes we need somebody who understands where we are and has been in a similar position that we've been in, but not exactly in our own mindset and who we are, because it's sometimes having that other perspective that really helps us move through it. And there's a lot of things that you don't realize you don't know until after you start something. Real estate was one of those things I didn't know how much I didn't know until I got into it. Being an entrepreneur was one of those things I didn't realize I didn't know. Writing a book, running events, launching my membership, and even doing Facebook Lives. There are some things that until you step into it and you make the decision to move into that direction, you start realizing, wow, there's actually a lot that I don't know, and there's actually a lot that I need to learn. And sometimes you're doing things by habit that you don't actually realize are stopping you from moving in that direction. And that's why when you have a mentor who is able to see those roadblocks, one, even before you get there, to have overcome them and can see where you're at, then we're able to move through that and not have to go through all the lessons. And we won't have to go through all the lessons, and it won't take us as long if we've got that support. Because we don't know what we're in for a lot of the time. And I know for me, the first few years of my business, I spent so much time trying to do everything myself. And it's so difficult when you're expecting yourself to do everything when it comes to doing all the organizing, the brainstorming, the application, and even just building the ideas. Because when you work in a team and you work with other people who have a similar mindset, who have a similar vision to you, the synergy behind it, and I spoke about this on, I think it was day 3, it was yesterday's video, when we can come together, it's synergistic. So we're able to come up with more things together as opposed to what we could come up with individually. And then we can make a bigger impact and a bigger difference with whatever it is that we're doing, because you're building off the experience of multiple people. And so with that mentor, it's someone who has a lot more experience and a lot more knowledge in that area, but even finding other people to collaborate with and other people to work alongside with, and just to even keep you accountable. There's also so many different areas that you can learn from other people. Like I have my beautiful sister, Katie O'Malley, and she, has a lot more experience than me when it comes to running events, because she's run a lot more events than I have. And she's also more knowledgeable in the spiritual energetics of things. I more so know the relationship and the selling side of things, and also when it comes to how that relates to expressing your message and who you are. But it doesn't mean that we don't learn from each other. And it's about learning from each other's experiences. So how you can move forward in this and how this can apply to your life is to, one, ask yourself, who are the people in your life at the moment? Like actually look around and look at the 5 closest people in your life. And there's a very well-known personal development saying that you are a sum of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. So look, first you need to observe who are the people you're surrounding yourself with, who you are surrounding yourself with. The second question is decide, what do you want? What types of people do you want to be around? What sorts of people do you want to be influenced by? And what sorts of people, for me, I want to be inspired by? And do those 2 things match? The people that you do have in your life compared to the types of people that you would like to be around, are they actually the same sorts of people? Because if there's an incongruency in what you've got in your life and the people you're surrounding yourself with compared to the sorts of people you want to surround yourself with, you're not going to be able to expand your mindset if you don't stick to, if there's no congruency in it. And it's first being able to acknowledge that. Hi, Tim! I know that you guys have a lot of experience in having support as well. So like I say in all the videos, if you feel like there's something that will be beneficial for everybody else as well, share your experience, or if you'd like, ask me a question and let me know what you're thinking of everything that we're discussing. And so the first one is, look at who you've got in your life. Like Tim and Jason are both these two amazing guys that are constantly looking at building who they are and working with amazing groups of people. And that's how they know each other. They're saying hello to each other on the live. The second one is decide who are the types of people that you want to surround yourself with, and is it in line with who you're currently surrounding yourself with. And the third one is the most important, to take action, to actually make an effort and make a conscious decision to surround yourself with those sorts of people. So that means saying yes and seeking out those people that you feel like are going to support you in the direction that you want to move in. And saying no to the people who aren't, because unfortunately there will be some people who just aren't on the same path as you anymore. And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. It doesn't mean anything like that. It's just how it is. It's just that we need to make a conscious decision about it. Otherwise, everyone's expectations are going to be on us, and everybody's going to want to hang out with you. There's always going to be an opportunity somewhere. And if we're saying yes to everything and we're not making a conscious decision about what we're saying yes to and what we're saying no to, then our life ends up not being, we don't end up going more so in the direction that we want. And I'm going to post a post later on today about want. I won't go into it now because then I'll talk for like half an hour. But we need to make those conscious decisions. And it doesn't mean I don't still go with the flow, because, I didn't mean to speak to Scott today. We had one of the most amazing conversations about, moving like just in business and support, and it wasn't planned at all. But I know that he is somebody who is doing some amazing work. So of course I'm going to want to speak to him, and I did make time for him. But again, it's making those conscious decisions. So what have some of you guys said? You've said, haha, don't bombard Nina's live. It's okay. I'm glad that you guys are having conversations and connecting with each other. It's showing the support of the Nudie family as well. So true. Hang with negative people and negativity becomes too much more prevalent. Oops. I don't know if Tim meant to say that. But yes, it's true. Hi, Andrew. Yeah, so to sum up, one, look at who you're surrounding yourself with. One, look at who you're currently surrounding yourself with. Two, decide who are the types of people that you want to surround yourself with, and is that the people you are surrounding yourself with? And three, take action and surround yourself with those sorts of people, whether it's Andy or whether it's Tim or whether it's Jason, or just like-minded people who are similar to you and wanting to move in the direction that you want. A lot of the time that is a mentor. So if you are looking at getting a mentor in whatever area, I would encourage you to do your research, talk around, speak to some friends, ask people, even comment on the video if you like. I know a lot of coaches in different areas. And if you guys have any questions or anything you want to share after the live, or even if you guys aren't watching it live, I do read all the comments, and I look forward to hearing what else you guys have to say and share. And I will be doing day 5 tomorrow. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys then. Lots of love. Bye.